Well, hello there, YouTube. This is going to be an informal little phone review. I was waiting quite a bit of time for the iPhone 6 Plus, and while I was waiting, I ended up getting the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. Both of these are AT&T devices. I think they're both world phones. I know the iPhone is. Doesn't matter. It has CDMA, GSM. It has all the antennas in it. You can, if it's unlocked, you can use it anywhere. But anyway, I was waiting before I did any kind of review. I have literally spent about a month with the Samsung, so I didn't want to have any kind of tainted feelings or anything like that towards them. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a fairly huge iOS fan. Both of them, I love them both actually. They're quite nice. I mean, you're literally in two different worlds here as far as two phones. I mean, this one, there's like everybody says, they're very customizable and you can tweak things and stuff like that. As far as a daily driver with the Samsung Droid, I'm mostly okay with that. The TouchWiz, I hate to use the word glitchy because that everybody wants to know what's glitchy, but there seem to be glitches. It's kind of bumpy and rough. Not very intuitive. Everything on the iPhone, which if you watch any other review, everybody's the same way. If you want fluid, smooth, hassle-free, no glitches, no hesitations, you just want a super fast phone that just get things done and get them done right. There's no question iPhone's the way to go. Not that you can't do everything with the pretty much the same thing with the Samsung. It's just a little trickier, a little bumpier along the way. Both of them, really fast. If you look at specs, if you're one of these people that shops devices based on specs, you're really going about it the wrong way. You look at this thing; it's a 2.7 gigahertz quad core. This is a 1.4 gigahertz dual core. Only 1 gig of RAM. This one has 3 gigs of RAM. But in all fairness, Android is basically, the whole thing runs off of JavaScript for the most part. So there's a lot of, memory dumping and stuff that has to go on to keep these things up and running. So there's a lot of, using memory, getting rid of it to make access to, for more things to do. Just the way the iOS works is much smoother. It only uses the memory needed for the task at hand. So the way the OS functions, the way it handles apps, tasks that you're doing, it's a very well thought out, I guess. The programming is much smoother. Doesn't require a lot of memory. So as far as doing things on both devices, there's I'd say for the most part there's an edge on the iPhone as far as speed. Different apps, that's more app stuff than phone, I would imagine. But say Facebook, for example, even web browsing, you come across something that has a video or something. And I'm just thinking of this as an example of things that happens a lot. Trying to play a video, this won't play it, this will play it. And very seldom, if it's something this won't play, this won't even go to it. But it's just weird things on weird sites, links that send you off. But it seems to be more app specific than anything else, using the same things, whether it be Twitter and Twitter, Facebook and Facebook, that kind of thing. And obviously I use Chrome in the because it's kind of native to the Samsung. It wants to use it, but I do use Chrome a lot with iOS also. I don't know if I even got a signal out here, but yeah, it's picking it up, shockingly. But I mean, I really have no Wi-Fi. You can see they're just barely edge out here in the shop. I'm in no man's land. But I've got both screens. I think they're set somewhere around 75%. Well, I got the iPhone up quite a bit, don't I? Let's kick them up so they're about somewhat equal here. But the one thing, you know, if you're looking at specs again, you're looking at a 16 megapixel camera, you're looking at an 8 megapixel camera, and there's no question. I mean, you don't have to take my word for it. I mean, do your own reviews and investigating, but iPhone tenfold better camera. It's faster camera. It's just all around better picture quality. You don't have the extra megapixels to zoom in if you're taking a far shot and you want to pull it in, but even zooming in, you have a better chance of getting a better picture out of this than with the Samsung. I find that the colors, or if you look at the pictures on the phone itself, they look so much better. God, I don't have Wi-Fi out here, so I'd never be able to pull up photos. They give you an example offline where I can pull them both up, but if you look at the same photo, something that looks just absolutely gorgeous on the Samsung, I mean the screen just always very punchy and pleasant looking, but if you look at the colors, you'll see where the colors are like oversaturated badly with this and not so in this. If you're into photography, you're going to want the you're definitely going to want an iPhone. If you're serious about pictures, you already know you're going to be using an iPhone anyway. But color correctness, especially once you pull them off of the phone and get them on a calibrated monitor, these are correct. These are very incorrect. But on the device itself, this is way more pleasing to look at on the device as opposed to the iPhone. But you know, unless you're just going to be staring at your pictures on your device, it doesn't hold up once you get it on a calibrated monitor, a regular monitor in your, whether it be your laptop or like my big Samsung monitor that I use on my computer. But you know, I want my pictures to be precise, so I love using the camera on this. I don't know. It seems I don't know. It seems like it's taking a better picture because what I see through the screen seems so much more pleasant than what it does on an iPad or an iPhone. But I'm so disappointed once I upload them to the computer. You know, I'm going, wow, you ruin the experience. You know, you think you're getting this nice, punchy, gorgeous picture, and it just falls apart. You know, it's really grainy, and the quality of picture is just not there, especially if the light starts to get dim. And living here in the Pacific Northwest, you get a lot of dim light. You hear the clicking going around, that's Sophie running around in here. But I do love them both. I really enjoy the Samsung. I'm not a big Droid fan. I'm really looking forward to 5.0 Lollipop. It's it's very iOS-ish in you know, the way the notifications work, and you know, it's very much like iOS. There's a lot of, I mean, obviously it's different, but a lot of its actions and some of the things are going, ooh, it does this, ooh, it does that. I'm going, you know, iOS has been doing that for a while. And but anyway, I'm really looking forward to that, and it's still not available for the Samsung. It's supposed to be coming within the next, you know, 20 some odd days. They promised, you know, a 90-day rollout. So I guess that's incorrect. Within probably the next 60 or so days, because that's been about 3 or 4 weeks since they announced the 90-day deal. So anyway, we're getting close. Somewhere around there. I think somebody said something I was watching today was like 58 days or something. But I'm not going to port it in. I'm not going to you know, root it in. I'll wait till it's available. I've been hearing some bugs off and on. I'm really looking forward to that. All the reviews I've been watching and reading on Lollipop is really going to be nice. to my liking anyway. You know, everybody's experience will vary. But I love them both. They're both fantastic phones, fantastic screens. You really couldn't go wrong with either one. You know, if you're into the, you know, Apple ecosystem, you know, you'd be foolish to move over to this side. And if you're locked in with the whole Android world, you know, I would say you'd probably be foolish to move over to the iOS side. It depends on, you know, what you're used to and what you enjoy. And, you know, if you do like making all these weird tweaks and whatnot on your device, you know, the Droid is definitely going to be a different experience. You know, you can twist and tweak these things around however you want. I'm not really into that. You know, years ago I was all about that, but I just I'm one of these people. When I pull that thing out of my pocket, I have a goal, and I just want to get to what I'm looking for, or want to do. Whether, you know, anything as simple as, you know, like a unit conversion or something between metric and SAE or whatever it may be. I will always grab the iPhone. The quality of the apps in the App Store, I just have seen no equal in the Android world. That's, you know, my personal opinion. You know, I'm sure there'll be haters out there. Oh, you Apple fanboy, whatever. I'm just telling you what I like. Say whatever you want. You know, I got guys at work that swear by Samsung. You know, even though the majority of the people are using iOS and very happy with it. The one thing I find very interesting, especially since, you know, a lot of people know I'm carrying both phones, is it's always the Android people bad-mouthing iOS. You never hear the iOS people bad-mouthing any other OS. iOS people just seem to be content and happy, no problems. You never hear them screaming at their phone. You never see this frustrating thing where they're trying to get something done and it doesn't do it. It just works. Doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it just works. It's very, very solid and just gets the job done. This will do it. Yeah, have a couple of bumps, speed bump here and there, but you can achieve the same thing. But when I just want a quick picture, I want to know the picture's good, or if there's something I need to do, you know, the way the email works. I very seldom use the Gmail or the new inbox by Gmail. I'm forced to use Gmail, and then I've got corporate and my Hotmail. I can put Hotmail now in Gmail, but when I delete something or I move it to another folder, it just comes right back to the inbox. So there's a glitch with them using Hotmail or Outlook mail. So I've got my corporate mail and my Hotmail in, you know, the Samsung, their default email thing. And there's a reason I also use the this one too, and I'll disclose that later in another review. And there's a reason I always carry this with me. Now, not so much do I have to carry it with me. Again, I'll explain that later. But anyway, both fantastic devices. Depends on what world you're already in. You can't go wrong. This is a powerhouse in the Droid world for sure. With my experience over, you know, even before the Plus came in, I've had it, what, 3 weeks now maybe? My 5S was smoother than this, less hiccups and pauses and whatnot. I don't know what that's all about. I ended up putting this Clean Master thing on there that monitors when it's getting loaded up, and you hit a quick button, it clears it out. The memory just gets overloaded and bogs down. Yeah, you just literally, absolutely never have that happen on an iOS. It just always works. It doesn't matter how many apps you have in the background, it just always works. Not that a glitch and a pause is a big thing. It's not a deal breaker. It's really not even frustrating. It's just, you know, kind of annoying that such a powerhouse that, you know, exceeds most of my computers in my house, how it could, you know, bog down. But I understand how it works, you know, with you know, the way the operating system works, and that's just, you know, the way it handles memory and whatnot. That's just the way that works. It works, but way less frustrating than any other Android thing I've ever used because of its, you know, its power and speed and lots of memory. So I do enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love this phone. I will not get rid of it. I love it. I'll probably, whatever the next version is for next year, you know, the Note 5, whatever it may be, I will get one. I will keep one of these phones with me, you know. The S Pen, you know, everybody said that's a big deal breaker. Maybe because I use iOS so much, I really have like zero use for the S Pen. I'm so used to writing notes in different apps I have on the, you know, with my finger. I never even pulled the pen out. You know, it was like a novelty thing, and I was, you know, taking screen captures where you can write on them, and you know, a lot of these little novelty things that you can do with Android that really aren't useful. There are a lot of tricks and gadgets and whiz bangs that you just find yourself not using. So whatever, you know, it's cool that it's there. I do enjoy it. I love all that weird flexibility stuff. I play with this one way more than I play with the iPhone. The iPhone is my workhorse. I have it on a belt clip. It never leaves me, no matter what. This one I'll leave on my workbench and literally not pick it up all day. But when I'm sitting at home, I'll fiddle and play around with it. A couple things that irritate me about the iPhone is the developers seem to be a little slow adopting all the apps to fit the new, larger, higher definition screen. So things like Google+, Gmail, the Creator Suite, most of the Google stuff has not ported over. There's some, there's some other things, you know, like my bank's website and stuff. Different things haven't moved over to fit the larger display, but it's kind of like using an iPhone thing on an iPad. It just has that kind of a soft, blown up look to it. It's perfectly usable. It just kind of has a cartoonish look to it. That petty annoyance, I know, but it does. But anyway, that's my very informal review on the two phones. I do love them both. My preference by far would be the iPhone. Sorry for all you Android lovers that are on the other camp, but I have no problem with you liking that. I would never try to sway you to the iPhone, ever. It's not my thing. iPhone is my preference, along with millions and millions and millions and millions of other people. But you know, I do love them. The Androids, I do have fun with it. This one in particular, by far. I still have my little Nexus 7. If you guys remember those reviews, that's when I sit down and battle through Creative Studio comments and whatnot. That's my my cozy device. It fits comfortable. The screen's big, and it's just really nice to answer comments and stuff with. Regular emails and stuff will always be my iPhone. Some of you getting stuff back are probably confused because you'll see, you know, one that, you know, AT&T defaults your email sent from, you know, iPhone or whatever. You'll see Droid on some things, or I mean Galaxy Note on some things, and iPhone 6 Plus on others. But it just depends on which one's in my hand. Sometimes I'm wearing a coat. I have this in my coat pocket and this one on a clip. This one's easier to get to. So you absolutely can do everything that needs to be done on the Droid. I'm not saying you can't do things. It's just a little bumpier and a little less intuitive. But I do enjoy it. So now the flaming begins, right? So whatever camp you're in, you know, you might be a Windows guy or a BlackBerry guy. I was big in the Windows before, you know, the newest stuff came out, and I was Palm. I was Windows, then went to Palm phones, BlackBerry phones, and then to iOS, and then you know, I dabbled around with the Droid stuff a bunch, not a whole bunch, but a lot here lately. But anyway, end result, I prefer, and with each upgrade it just keeps getting better and smoother. And the phones, good lord, man, are they fast, crazy fast. Push a video through this thing, whew, it just crunches it. Which I have video programs that I use, but yeah, they just don't stand up. Good old iMovie for iPhone is just incredible. It works so well. It's so fast. It crunches videos. Just, I mean, only my new laptop beats it. But anyway, that's that for that. So don't flame me too bad if you're on one side of the fence or the other, which would obviously be the Droid side, because I made it clear I like iOS better. So don't hate me because I make a personal choice. I'm not flaming one or trying to push the other. I'm just giving you my personal opinion. So sorry, I know you guys probably want to see what they look like out of the cases, but I keep them in there. I'm not going to drag them out for this. If you're interested in these things, you know what they look like anyway. You know, the iPhone's crazy thin, freakishly thin. Android's not that much bigger. Naked, with both phones out of the cases, by far I like the way the Samsung feels in my hand. I mean, by a huge margin. The iPhone just feels like it's going to slip out of my hand all the time. It just makes me nervous that it's going to slip out. Just that smooth metal. I do love that cold metal feeling, and just that solid build that they have. Just incredible build. But it does, that slippery metal just makes me think it's going to out of my hand at any second. So anyway, I'm going to end it with this. I went way too long as it is. So thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care now. Bye-bye.